chocolate pudding? Thinking like that?
There's only one way to find out.
True enough. Blimey, pineapple yoghurt dessert. This baby eats better than what I do.
I mean, all at present, what with all the being stuck in shop.
Don't start, Alf.
Look, a man needs a proper dinner when he gets home, not something out of a tin.
It's only temporary, you know that.
When's Sally due back?
Oh, when Eddie and Tina get back from France.
When's that likely to be, then?
Sunday, they reckon.
Oh, well, that's just great.
Oh, honestly, Alf, it's not Sally's fault that Eddie's mum's been kept in hospital, is it?
She'll not be the only one in hospital if it goes on like this.
Just ignore it. Sally's better off where she is, if you ask me. Do you know, I'd rather look at a dirty nappy any day than his miserable face.
We're going to get you into this, and then Kevin's going to be having some nice breakfast for you.
Right, pineapple and yoghurt or chocolate pudding?
Oh, Kevin, they're baby puddings. We wanted breakfast.
Well, he's not going to know the difference, is he? And even if he does, he won't mind, as long as it's decent grub. Hey, Sunshine, come here, let's put your bib on for you, eh?
You should have got egg and bacon or porridge or something.
He's not going to know the difference.
Babies aren't daft, you know.
Look, he won't mind. And even if he does, we'll make him something else. Yeah, I'll give it here. Alf was giving us an earful.
Oh, did you tell him I'll be back on Monday?
Yeah, I said.
It's not going to be easy, you know, after this.
Hey, don't you go getting broody on me.
Huh? You're a fine one to talk. I can't get near him when you're here.
Yeah, well, he likes me, doesn't he?
Oh, Kevin, you know you'd make a really good dad.
Yeah? Well, don't go getting any ideas. You like that?
I know, I should be grateful that Mr. Sugden does the housework. It's just that he treats everything like a military manoeuvre. I mean, he keeps moving me about as if I were part of the Third Army. I wish I had somebody to do mine for me. I'll send him round.
No, I'm not that desperate, Emily.
Hello. Gail, could you let me have some £1 coins for the cabin? Do you know, I've changed that many £5 and £10 notes today. You'd think everybody around here would come up on the pool.
Fine, see Martin.
Oh, Martin's here.
Yeah, standing in for Alma.
So she's not here then?
No, she's not.
Still, I suppose you won't see so much of her now she's got her feet under Mike Baldwin's table.
You could be right.
Lady of leisure.
Not exactly from what I hear. She's working all hours that God sends.
Alma Sedgwick?
Making travel bags for Mike. You know, the kind you take on aeroplanes. Apparently he's got some kind of contract.
Whatever next?
I didn't know that.
Love is a very strange thing.
Okay,
I should know.
Oh.
Sen, okay?
Thank you.
Sen?
I didn't know that Gail had taken you on.
Oh, well, I thought so. Coronation Street, knew that by now.
No, I mean, I didn't know that you were gainfully employed.
Well, you've got to keep the wolf from the door, haven't you, mate?
Well, it must have come as a shock after all this time.
Oh, what's that?
Well, work.
Well, you know, I can't stay idle all my life, can I?
No, suppose not.
Speaking of which, how's Derek?
Oh, he's all right.
He's fixed himself up with a job, has he?
No,
Oh,
not
well,
yet.
send him my best, will you, maybe? So it can't be much fun having a husband on the dole.
See?
Well, she asked for it, didn't she?
Yes, will that be all right?
Yeah, they'd be safe as houses in there. Good luck. They're bite.
Oh, well, I need to if we're going to make that deadline.
Look, don't worry, I've told you.
Mr. Baldwin.
Oh, Mr. Charlton. I don't think you know Alma Sedgwick.
Ah, Miss Sedgwick.
Oh, Mr. Charlton.
Have you a television set, Mr. Baldwin? Sit.
Well, yes, of course I have. Why?
It's just that one or two of us have been experiencing some sort of interference with reception.
Oh?
And I wondered if you were having similar problems.
Well, we don't seem to have much time watching television, actually. Miss Sedgwick and I always seem to be doing something else.
Yes, quite. Well, if you do, you might let me know. I think it's probably someone using unsuppressed electrical equipment somewhere in the complex, which I'm sure I needn't tell you is contrary to the tenancy agreement.
Oh, quite.
Only it's just the sort of problem one moves to this kind of place to avoid.
No regard for anybody, some people.
Well, I'm determined to sniff him out, whoever he is, and confront him in his own lair.
I wish you luck, Mr. Charlton. And I'm very pleased to know that there's someone like you around.
Good morning to you, Miss Sedgwick. Come along.
I'll keep an ear open for him myself.
Hey, listen, look out for the roadblocks.
I will, don't worry. See you later.
Have some more tea.
I did, honestly. I've had another heart attack if I'm much longer.
Go on, Audrey, come on, honey.
Oh, you are a temptress, Sola.
You forget how small they are, don't you?
He's lovely, aren't you, Jamie?
Oh, yes. Do you know, isn't nature wonderful? You have to marvel, don't you? I mean, when I have to say it, how a hooligan like Eddie, can produce something as perfect as this.
There's lots of time for him to change.
Oh, please, come on, now don't depress us.
How did you manage, Liz, with two at once? Oh, it wasn't easy, especially as Jim was posted at the time.
Oh, what, when they were born?
Yeah, it was in Hong Kong.
And you were on your own?
Well, no, I was in a ward with lots of other teenage brides. They brought him back when I finally produced, but only for a week or so.
And you managed all on your own?
Well, not altogether. I mean, the army helped out a bit. But of course, what I really wanted was my husband.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Oh, well, that's all over and done with now. I mean, no more postings, eh?
Oh, hopefully. Mind you, having said that, he's away to Aldershot today.
Oh, what, he's had to go back to camp?
Yeah. Still, it should be for the last time. He's just got to tie up all the loose ends before he gets his discharge. You know what the army's like with paperwork.
I know that is and all. Honestly.
Hello? Yes, Mr. Robert, she is.
Tell him I'm on my way. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Do you know, I've got to swap you now for a great big zombie. Oh. Do you know, I sometimes wish Alfie had joined the army. Maybe you should get your Jim to have a word. Ta-ra, love.
See you
Bye, see you later.
Hey, I say, why is it when anybody shows a baby to Audrey, or any of you for that matter, you start to cluck and fuss around like mother hens before a storm?
Instinct, Al.
I mean, you don't even need to see them. You just get wind there's somewhere about and off you go, antennas twitching, looking for a fix. I'll boot, please.
It's all to do with hormones, Al.
Oh, well, that's something I know naught about.
Really? You do surprise me.
Yeah, well, I wish Audrey would surprise me and get back so I can get me dinner.
I heard that. Do you know, I can't leave him alone for 5 minutes without his moaning about summer.
Now, look, if you paid as much attention to this shop as you do to that baby, we might make a profit.
Is that all you think about? There is more to life than profit, you know. There's love and kindness. I mean, where would Tina and Eddie be if it wasn't for little Sally?
They'd be at home, so Sally could be here helping me.
She's working her socks off with that Jamie and
She should be working her socks off in this shop.
You should see her. She's quite good with him, really. Do you know, it makes you want to start all over yourself.
Oh, chance would be a fine thing.
Tell me something, Alf. Were you an unhappy child?
No, but I'm an unhappy grocer.
Oh.
Right, lift your end up. Right. Round there. That's it. Right, if you come round here and take a seat. Okay? Right. Open the door for him. Right. Okay, in you go. That's it. That's it. There you go. That's it. Well done, my friend.
Don't forget this now.
I'll be glad when you can put this away for good.
Look, I'll give you a ring when I get there, okay?
You mean while you're still sober?
Well, you know what it's like when the lads get together in the mess? Besides which, if you're very, very good, I'll bring you back something very tasty.
Just bring yourself back in one piece.
Ooh, still reckon I'm a bit tasty then, eh?
Give over, Jim. The kids might walk in.
Well, it's time they learned about the big wide world. They're old enough now, anyway.
Yeah, well, not from watching me, thank you. Look, how can I get on with this if you keep messing about?
Fine.
Have you got your shaving gear?
No, it's on the stairs. Oh, I don't know where it'd be. I didn't have you here to keep me right.
No, neither do I.
You'll, be okay when I'm away, won't you?
Aren't I always?
Well, now you've made some friends, you'll be all right.
Yeah. They're nice, especially young Sally. I'm really glad we came here, you know, Jim.
Good.
Are you?
Well, it takes time to get used to it.
But you will get used to it.
Well, only time will tell.
It's a good place. They're really nice people.
Yes, they're all right, apart from that grim grocer.
Oh, even he's not so bad when you get to know him. I really want this to work out, you know.
Oh, I know, darling. I know. And it will work. I'm only going to sort some papers out. I'm not going to sign on again. Come on. We better get organised. That taxi's going to be here any minute.
You want me to fill that up for you, Percy?
No, thank you. And if you don't mind, I'm talking to Mr. Jones.
Hey, pardon me for living.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, you, as a responsible local resident, you've got a moral obligation to tenant those new houses with decent, peace-loving folk, which I hope will exclude anybody with a motorbike or a very loud stereo.
Well, firstly, Mr. Sugden, I'm not a local resident, and secondly, I'm not aware of any obligation, moral or otherwise, that stops me selling to who I like.
But, Mr. Jones, we've got to live in this street. We don't want any riffraff coming into it.
Well, in that case, perhaps I should warn my prospective buyers about you.
Are you insinuating what I think you're insinuating?
No, Mr. Sugden, I never insinuate. I always state quite clearly what I mean. Bet, Emily?
Thank you, Percy. That's a good-paying customer you've just driven out.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Gilroy, but there are other than pecuniary matters at stake in that conversation, and I will not be insulted at the bar of my own local hostelry.
Then perhaps you do us all a favour and go somewhere else. Because as bar fittings go, you've become a very expensive luxury.
And slimline tonic for Ivy should be on the way. Look, and whatever Emily's having.
No, I think I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Do you start seeing things when you're having a nervous breakdown?
Well, I'm certainly seeing too much of one thing, or should I say one person, at the moment.
I mean, I've just seen something I can't quite work out. Baldwin moving an industrial sewing machine into Josie Phillips' place.
I heard he was starting up again.
More slave labour? Well, after what he did for you lot.
There's nothing against it, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, that's what's wrong, innit, eh? That's what the trouble with this country, innit? By rights, rats like him shouldn't be able to trade again.
Oh, Mr. Bowen.
Sorry to disturb you, Ivy. I was wondering if I could have a word.
Well, Don's waiting for me down at the pub.
Yeah, it won't take a minute. Could be worth your while.
Oh, right. Go on, then.
What exactly did Gail say?
Oh, that Alma's making travel bags. Derek, is it basil or is it oregano for spaghetti bolognese?
Oh, oregano.
You sure?
No, I'm not sure. How many travel bags?
Oh, I think it's basil.
Well, basil, oregano, who cares?
Oh, you'll be the first one to shout if it's the wrong one.
At the moment, I'm more interested in what's going on inside Mike Baldwin's flat than your proposed flavouring for spaghetti bolognese.
I am not, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about travel bags. Audrey, is it basil or is it oregano for spaghetti bolognese?
Basil, I think. I thought you'd have known that, Derek.
Oh, Derek's more interested in what's going on inside Mike Baldwin's flat.
Well, I may not be an expert on spaghetti bolognese, but I do know what's going on around the quayside. Should anybody be interested?
Sorry, Mr. Bowen, but I never cared over much for heavy sewing work.
Piece of cake for you, Ivy. No real difference between that and what you were doing for me before. And travel bags are just a start. This could be a nice little earner in this for all of us.
All of us?
Yeah, you and me. I need you, Ivy. Think of what a good team we made across the road, eh?
Yeah. Till you flogged us to Jones and he kicked us into touch.
Come on, Ivy, what you... What's he want? Just trying to put a bit of business Ivy's way, that's all. Come on, clear off.
Did he calm down, Don?
That's good advice, huh?
Yeah, nobody wants your advice. I know all about your backstreet little sweatshop number, pal. So go and peddle it somewhere else unless you want a thick lip.
They said violence was your new thing.
You what?
You best go, Mr. Bowen.
Now that is very good advice.
Yeah, I'm going. And I'd keep an eye on this boy if I was you, Ivy. You could seriously damage someone's health.
Yeah, yours if you come back around here again. Come on, love.
Tina. Yes, I know I shouldn't be here.
What's happened?
I'll tell you. We're inside, eh?
Yeah, all right.
Give us a ring when you get there.
Of course I will.
Promise.
Yes, I promise.
And listen, don't go mad tonight, will you?
Well, I can't promise that now, can I?
No.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Piccadilly, please, mate. I'll see you.
Afternoon.
Hello.
Oh, no, this is Mike Baldwin, isn't it? Let's go. Well, Mike! Mike!
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mike. I'm glad I caught you.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I've heard from various sources. I don't know how reliable they are, of course, but I have been given to understand from certain quarters that you're involved in the pursuance of, how shall I put it, a new enterprise.
Have you, Derek?
Yes. And with that in mind, I thought I'd take this opportunity of making you aware of my own availability should you require a new marketing man in your operation.
Oh, you want a job?
Well, yes.
How are you with a sewing machine?
Sewing machine? Don't understand.
Then I can't use you.
And he got himself arrested.
Him and 3 others.
Oh, Tina, no.
They all got smashed after the match and started singing and carrying on. I mean, not rough row, just a bit lively. Any road, manager called the cops, Eddie got a bit abusive, so they stuck them all at local Nick.
Oh, and he's still there now?
Well, yeah, until the French police decide whether to press charges or not.
Oh, what a holiday.
I know. Now I come home to find his mum's still in hospital. I'm sorry to have put you to all this trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble. He's a lovely little boy.
Oh, thanks anyway. You've been a real mate.
Oh, we've really enjoyed it. In fact, he can stop with us, you know, until Eddie's mum comes out of hospital.
Oh, we could for me, I tell you. But I've promised Eddie I'd look after him. I mean, that's why I've come back early without him.
But what about your job at the pub, though?
Well, yeah, I know, but like I said, I've promised, so... If you get his things together, I'll take him now.
One of those, please. And 20 fags for me, Dad.
Hey, your dad's away.
Rumbled again.
I'm not as daft as I look, you know.
Aren't you?
No, I'm not. And I'm not going to lose my licence for selling cigarettes to underage wide boys, neither.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Roberts. It was a joke.
Yeah, well, I think you've run through your quota of jokes, you two. And I hope you're going to behave yourself while your dad's away.
Yeah, away. Away more often than his own.
Yeah, look how you two have turned out.
Well, listen, Mr. Roberts, you know, it's difficult being handsome and perfect. He's right, you know, especially when there's 2 of us. Cheers.
Ta-ra. Honestly, Alfie, what sort of impression are them 2 lads going to have of you?
A miserable old man who'll come down like a ton of bricks on them if there's so much as set a wrong foot in this shop, that's what.
Hello.
Your biggest box of chocolates, Alf.
Oh, now that sounds exciting.
Yeah, well, it is.
Special occasion.
Very special.
Yeah, it'll need to be priced, these are.
Oh, never mind the price. Just wrap them up, will you?
Right.
Where is she now?
She's gone back to the flat.
And you say she's taking Jamie?
Yeah, he's gone too.
So how she moved the chair and that?
Well, I said that you'd take the chair tonight in the car.
Well, I wish she'd have called and let me know what were going on.
Ah, she'd be too ashamed of Eddie.
Big daft lump. He should have more sense at his age, and him a dad and all.
Yeah, it's not him I'm worried about. It's poor little Jamie.
Can't see Tina knowing much about babies.
She didn't know as much as we knew when we took him on.
True enough.
Yeah, but Kevin, we've learnt now, haven't we? I tried to explain her that, but she said that she'd promised Eddie.
Yeah, well, it's her responsibility now, so stop worrying about it.
I can't help it.
Of course you can't, and I can see what you mean. Tina's lifestyle and that flat leave a lot to be desired in the circumstances. She's not exactly Mother Earth, is she?
Sewing machines?
Yes, that's what he said. Did Derek know anything about sewing machines?
Yeah, well, he's desperate for a machinist then, isn't he?
Well, that's no reason to ridicule my husband in the street. Poor Derek had to swallow his pride to approach a man like that in the first place.
Yeah, well, that's Baldwin for you. You should have known better than to ask him, shouldn't you?
Oh, Derek's desperate.
Well, he must have been to ask Mike Baldwin.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to come round and ask how Vera. I'll get rid of the little toe rag.
Right, well, I just finished this lot and I'll pop in the Josie's for the handles and the zips.
Good evening, Miss Sedgwick. Can we come in?
Yes.
Well, what have we here?
I rather think that's something we should be asking you, Mr. Baldwin.
And who are you?
I'm Geraldine Crawshaw.
Mrs. Crawshaw is chairperson of the Tenants Association.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Crawshaw. Under normal circumstances, I would have invited you to have a drink. But as you can see, I'm up to my eyeballs, so if you'll excuse me.
I'm sorry to be so insistent, Mr. Baldwin, but I'm sure you're aware that running a business from your premises is totally prohibited, according to the terms of your agreement.
Is it?
Of course it is. You know very well it is. And what's more, I insist you stop it at once. Otherwise, I shall be forced to ring my solicitors and take legal advice.
Well, don't let me stop you, Mr. Charlton. The door's there. You don't mind using your own phone, do you?
Mr. Baldwin, I don't think you're quite aware of the delicacy of your situation here.
All I understand is I've got a deadline, and if you're not going to roll up your sleeves and give me a hand, I suggest you leave. Or I could evict you personally, or I could phone the police.
You really are a very unpleasant little man, aren't you, Baldwin?
The last person to speak to me like that and get away with it, Mr. Charlton, was a sergeant major, and he was much fitter and bigger than you are.
Come on, Mr. Charlton, we're wasting our time.
And mine.
You haven't heard the last of this, Mr. Baldwin.
Neither of you, Mr. Charlton. Good night.
Just orange juice?
Yeah, well, I'm working later.
All night?
Oh, most of it. We need every penny at the moment.
Well, all I said to him that we didn't want any riff-raff moving into the street, and it was most abusive.
Yeah, well, whether he's got something else on his mind.
Yes, but that's no excuse for being rude, is it? I don't suppose you and Mrs. Roberts are putting down for one of these places, are you?
No, we are not.
Because you're just the sort of people we don't want to lose out of this street.
Well, I'm flattered, Percy, but I'm not tempted.
Well, I mean, you can't live over that shop forever.
I suppose we can't, no. Anyway, it won't be up to me in the end, will it? I mean, I've no doubt we'll find a nice little semi in the spring.
Well, it's not good, you know, living as close to the work like you do. It's bound to cause differences.
Oh, hello, Josie.
Hello, Josie. Have you had a drink?
Yeah, go on, they'll have half. Reckon I've earned it today.
Why are you working?
Yeah,
Doing what?
same as you.
Oh, yeah, what might that be?
Come on, Abby, I'm not a tax man. I know you're working for him and all. That's why I took the job on.
Baldwin.
Of course, it's hard on.
Making travel bags for him, are you?
Well, I weren't going to, but when he told me Ivy were doing it, I changed my mind.
I was just going to put the money in the till, boss.
Oh, it's all right. Get off your knees, Jack. The war's over. Those chocolates of yours went down very, very well, Alf, in spite of the fact they were overpriced.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed them anyway.
Oh, it wasn't me. It was my granddaughter.
Have you been to Anfield, have you?
Yes, I have indeed, Jack, and you'll be happy to know that as from tomorrow, Victoria is coming to spend the weekend with us. So you better behave yourself. That goes for you too, Percy.
Hello, Alec. Have you had a nice time?
Well, I did, as a matter of fact.
Well, Tina's just taking little Jamie up to bed. Go on through and put your feet up.
I'd just like to say thanks to the pair of you for putting us up like this. I think Bet were right. I want to cope on my own in flat.
Well, you get little Jamie settled, love. Come on through, Alec. I'm sure you could use an Irish.
I could use an explanation.
Look, Eddie's been arrested.
What?
He had a barney with some gendarmes and they've stuck him in the nick. Tina came back here to look after the baby, so I've said they can both stop here. Just till Eddie gets released.
You what?
Well, that way Tina can carry on working.
Oh, she can't stop here.
I've said she can.
Well, you'll just have to go and tell a different, won't you? I've got Victoria coming tomorrow for the weekend.
Oh, Alec, love, I wish you'd have checked with me first.
Me? Check with you? May I remind you that it is my name over that door, not yours. They'll have to go.
Excuse me. We'll discuss this later.